You have to start again.
Thank you all for coming. I hope some of those of you who have seen my talk before will realise that the chance of being technical in this talk is very slim. So if you're interested in the more community side of the world, then you'll find the next 2 minutes or so. Interesting. Okay, that's me. I'm David Ross. I started London PM. I'm sorry about that. So the Perl community is a very large and complicated place. There are many interesting corners in the way. I've been exploring it now for actually like 13 years, but a long time. I'd like to perhaps be your guide for the next 20 minutes around some part of the community. Like, draw your map. That's London for those of you who don't. I'll start off with history. That's a top map. So our story begins about 15 years ago in the mid-1990s. Anyone remember the mid-1990s?
Vaguely.
Good. Now that was the mid-1980s. The community at that time is pretty small, it's disorganised, there's no driving force behind it. Look, something like that. Can you see that at all? Is there any way we can have that a little less light? The community in 1995. It's largely based around Usenet. Can't see now. Did anyone use Usenet? Does anyone under the age of 40 use Usenet? Anyone under 40 use Perl? No, I didn't see. Oh, we had a few mailing lists as well. And then in 1997, O'Reilly organised the first Perl conference, which took place in Monterey, in San Jose in California. Now, I wasn't actually at the first Perl conference in California. I'm told it looked something like that. I'm not entirely sure which one's Larry. And one of the side effects of that was, for the first time, a number of well-known Perl people met each other face to face. And so the idea of Perlmongers was born. Can anyone tell me which was the first Perlmongers group? London?
Chicago.
It was New York, yeah. Brian McBoy and David Adler. That was in 97. By the summer of 98, so a year later, there were a couple of dozen of them. London PM was the first non-US group. Actually, I think Toronto might have been a non-US group at the same time. Yeah, so in 1997, the idea of Perlmongers is born. I know this photo doesn't really sum up Perlmongers, but I was just searching Flickr for photos of candles, and I just love that one. Oh, I shouldn't point out. So, over the following years, building on the base of Perlmongers, the community grows and diversifies. And so that's what we're going to look at. So we'll take a top-down approach. Start with the top, the Perl Foundation. Again, the Perl Foundation would say they actually don't run Perl in the way that that photo implies, but it's just such a lovely photo of the House of Parliament that I had to use it. So what do the Perl Foundation do? They award grants for Perl projects. If you go to their blog at news.perlfoundation.org, Alberto has just posted another load of people applying for grants to do interesting things for Perl, and you get the chance to go and comment on those proposals. They hold some copyrights for various Perl things. They hold the copyright on Perl 6, they hold the copyright on Parrot, things like that. Make sure that this is used the right way. They run.
Excuse me.
Yes.
But I think the Perl Foundation holds copyright in Perl. No?
Sorry?
The Perl
Oh,
Foundation.
yeah, okay. The Parrot Foundation came off of the Perl Foundation, yes, and they now hold the copyright for Parrot. Thank you. The Perl Foundation run a lot of the infrastructure that enables us to have various Perl websites and Perl mailing lists. Ask and Robert do sterling work running Perl websites, the Perl infrastructure on a volunteer basis. The big news, of course, here over the last couple of weeks is that the Perl Foundation have just taken control of Perl.com.
Yes.
So the site that O'Reilly were running and was, to be honest, starting to look a bit stagnant. We now have control of it back again, and Chromatic put some effort into making sure this is getting up to date and interesting. So that's good. They run YAPSI, though I should point out they don't run YAPSI Europe. That's done by the YAPSI Europe Foundation. Too many foundations. I'm a little bit confused. But they organise the YAPSIs in the US, or in North America, because they're all in the US. They also help out some of the other YAPSIs around the world. And you can find out everything you want to know about them at perlfoundation.org. Next, Perl monks. And when I think of Perl monks, this is the image that comes to mind. Not boring old Christian monks with but nice parishioners, friendly people. So Perl Monks is a Perl advice website. You go to Perl Monks, you post a Perl question, and pretty quickly you'll get a good answer. And probably some bad answers as well, and the key is to pick the good one out. But the good thing that Perl Monks has is it has this rating system, so people that know what they're talking about go and rate the answers, and you just pick the best rated one and probably do pretty well. But the other really nice thing about it is that a number of Perl experts inhabit this website and are there 24 hours a day, not the same ones 24 hours a day, but it's an international site. So you will get high quality answers to your questions from there. More recently, Stack Overflow also has a Perl section, and a lot of Perl people have started answering Perl related questions there. Perl Monks is at perlmonks.org. They're also at perlmonks.com, but I always use the .org address because it feels more open sourcey to me. Moving on, so Perlmongers. We mentioned how Perlmongers were kind of at the heart of the growth of the community. So Perlmongers, and that's what we all think of when we think of Perlmongers. I'm pretty sure that's in London because that's Waggle Dance, isn't it? Yeah, Ilmari knows. So Perlmongers are Perl people in your town. Local Perl people to get to know and socialise with. They're often in your local pub. Perlmonger groups, different types. I mean, they run themselves in many different ways. There will be social meetings, there will be technical meetings, there will be heretical meetings of some kind at some groups. Emergency meetings. Emergency meetings is when, oh look, somebody who once heard of Perl is passing through town, we better go to the pub. So there's always a good reason for a Perlmonger's reason. And whenever I travel, I always see if I can find a Perlmonger's group, because they always take you out to a nice bar. If anyone's ever in London, then get in touch with London.pm and we'll show you a good time. And you can find your local Perlmonger's group at pm.org. If you can't find a local Perl members group at pm.org. You can find instructions on starting a Perl members group at pm.org. And there are lovely people there who will give you all the help that you need to set up the group. Mailing lists, good old London.